what it is. What's the deal? It's your boy AD. Pause. This is the show where I always come out on top. Pause. You know what I'm saying? Royal Rumble weekend and the WWE has been on fire this year. Shout out to everybody that's doing their thing in the ring. Cody Rhodes, the American Nightmare, has been the WWE champion for almost a full year now. That's after 4 years of the original tribal chief Roman Reigns being WWE champion. Gunther is the world heavyweight champion right now. It's a lot of big things going on in the world of professional wrestling. But what we're here to talk about is the Royal Rumble this weekend. It's always one of the big four premium live events. You got the Royal Rumble, you got WrestleMania, you got SummerSlam, and you got Survivor Series. Those were the original four, the core four, and they're always going to be the biggest. In my opinion, I really don't know the right direction to go in as far as who wins the Rumble. It's who I want to win at the core in my heart, and it's who I believe is gonna win. We got a guest in the house as well, a special guest coming to y'all. We're gonna do what we do over here. You know what it is. So, without further ado, I'm about to bring them up. You ready to go? You ready to go? All right. I'm about to bring you up in here. We got Alan in the building. He coming through. He about to let y'all know how he feel about the Royal Rumble. Your boy Alan is live on stage.
We the ones, original. It is I, your boy. You can find me on Twitter or Instagram at Cool Guy Al. Ready to talk shop, ready to talk Rumble. It's uh, it's a really interesting time right now. Really interesting time, like you were saying, right now in professional wrestling. A lot happening, a lot of promotions, a lot of motion and commotion from these promotions. Um, WWE is red hot right now. You got a lot of moving pieces. You got a lot of storylines, a lot of potential feuds that could be advanced in the Royal Rumble. Um, this is probably one of the first times in a long time where you have a lot of guys gunning for it who could be legitimate winners of the Rumble. And in my opinion, when it comes down to it, I think it's going to be a surprise who wins. Um, how that's going to rub off on the fans, it can go either way, depending on who it is and how it happens. Um, we got CM Punk, who is going to cash in a favor on Roman and Paul Heyman. We have Logan Paul, who just returned and match up with Gunther at WrestleMania is I wouldn't mind watching that. That's an interesting, you know, interesting display of styles clashing there between Logan Paul and Gunther. You know, you have Seth, Punk, Rhodes, Roman, Rhodes, Rock, Rhodes. So many matchups that can happen through the Rumble. So I'm ready to I'm ready to speculate wildly.
Yeah, so obviously we got the elephant in the room of the final boss, The Rock, the great one, the people's
Mm-hmm.
champ, the most electrifying man in all of entertainment.
All
We
of it.
know that the feud with Cody was kind of put on pause. Rock had obligations to go. He had to do his Dwayne Johnson thing. He had to go
Mm-hmm.
where he really gets his money. That's acting. But we know Rock is a lifer when it comes to the wrestling business. Ever since being a little kid,
We
being High
do.
Chief Peter Maivia's grandson,
Mm-hmm.
and also being the son of Hall of Famer Rocky Johnson. And
Mm-hmm.
Rock broke in. I believe he was 23 years old, 24, Madison Square Garden, Survivor Series,
Went to
96.
Savannah.
clean cut baby face. You know, nobody liked them. They were chanting "Die Rocky Die." You know,
He had the
and
cruddy fade.
yeah, you know, he had the curly fro fade, fro hawk motif going on. He wasn't the people's champ that we came to know and love years later. But now the people want to see The Rock, and that's whether they want to hate him, whether they want to love him. Even when he's playing the heel, he's still maybe the top five most loved characters in the history of the business.
Hands down.
And and do you put him with Cody? Do you put him with Roman? Because that's really what initially we thought it was going to be last year, and there was a whole swerve about Cody got to finish the story, and we're coming full circle right now because it's almost 300 full days have passed pretty much
Mhm.
since then, and it's like, all right, do we actually get that Rock and Roman battle that we were promised last year? Do we get that Rock and Cody that we still haven't gotten? Like, what's your take on that, Alan? Do you think we're gonna get Rock versus either one, a triple threat, or what have you at the Mania?
In my opinion, I think the Rock and Cody train has left the station. That it's not happening. It's going to be Rock and Roman, if anything. If The Rock is going to be involved, I believe it will be against Roman. Um, the Bloodline storyline is still live in full effect. Um, I think we're going to see the dissension of Solo's Bloodline will somehow, bring The Rock. I think The Rock is coming back in the Rumble. If you watch one of the more recent like advertisements for the Rumble, they show The Rock in that last second. His silhouette is in that last second. That's always something to make the fans wonder, make your brain spin, and think, okay, what's going to happen? Um, but I do think, all in all, the bloodline, as far as The Rock, Final Boss, and Cody Rhodes, story sort of left the station. The heat's not there. The heat's not really there for that anymore. Um, I don't know how they get that heat back with Cody not being in the Rumble. He defend the title against Kevin Owens. It's a ladder match.
Yeah,
Do you do you have do you have Rock? Do you have Rock? Just come back.
well, this is my thing. I feel like what we're looking at right now in the Rumble is who I want to win and who's going to win. I feel like, and I'm not even going to pause too much on this pause. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like Jay Uso put his dues in. I feel like he just hasn't gotten that opportunity to be a top guy. I know they call him main event,
Mhm.
and to me, that's nothing
He's been
really.
main event for 4 years. He's been main
I
event
mean,
Jey Uso for 4 years.
yeah, but that's a nickname. Is it really what he's been? Is it really what he is? Gunther's cut a promo. I think he was pretty much alluding to that. Like, your main event, but are you really? I'm in the main event. I'm the one with the belt. And,
Hmm.
every time they put him one on one against Gunther, he takes that out. And, I think that I would love to see him get to earn the opportunity to face Gunther. Like, earn it the old fashioned way, winning the Rumble
Right,
and
right.
then taking the title of Gunther because I can't see him. He can't go against Cody. They're not going to do babyface
No,
on babyface.
no. I don't think that's even if they were going to. I don't think that is a money match.
Hmm.
I don't think that those two can put on a match that the people are going to want to see night two of WrestleMania, despite the pageantry and the fanfare. That match just doesn't do it for me.
All right, so you don't think that you can go? Jay and Cody, obviously. So if Jay does win, then the obvious choice would be Gunther, assuming that he
Mhm.
still has the
Champion by then.
championship, which
Yeah,
he probably will be. Triple H is a huge fan of these long drawn out championship
championship
reigns.
runs. Yeah.
I mean, and you can just tell by how he's booked ever since he became the head guy there. Roman got what, the fourth longest reign of all time.
Well, that to me, he inherited that from Vince. That was a Vince thing that Triple H sort of took in when Vince was dishonorably discharged.
Mm-hmm.
But if you look at Triple H's track record, yeah, uh, Gunther's Intercontinental title run, the I guess you could say the tag team title run for the Usos with the undisputed World Tag Team Championships. Um, he did keep that going, and he added on to it. Um, who else? The U.S. title, the Logan Paul's U.S. title run, that went a lot longer than I thought it should have. Um, yeah, Triple H does like those long, drawn out title runs to make the 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 win for the next champ, a little bit more dramatic, kind of like he did with Sami Zayn. Even though that should have been Chad Gable last year at WrestleMania, I think they really missed out on a big match there. And I'd like to see them do something with Chad Gable this year at WrestleMania, but I don't see it happening. Right now, they're using him to put over a lot of talent, so we'll see what happens with him.
All right, so obviously we've seen all of these long title reigns, and there have been a lot of, I would say, changes in the women's division recently. Now, Liv seemed to have the women's world championship for a good amount of time.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't counting the months. The reign was extremely underwhelming to me.
Very.
Just my personal opinion. I love Liv Morgan as a character. I don't really think she's all that believable when you start putting her in there with Nia Jax, Rhea Ripley, Jade Cargill, Bianca Belair, just women of like that size and strength. It's kind
Yeah,
of it's kind of hard for somebody that's 5'0" with 6-inch heels on
right.
to look competitive in those situations. But spending a little bit too much time going in on Liv, she's doing a great job. On the women's side, who do you really think? Because I got my opinion on who I want it to be, and I got my opinion on who I believe is gonna be.
I think Bianca Belair wins her second Rumble. If not, Charlotte Flair returns in dramatic fashion to win her second Rumble. I do think they're going to start going in the, you know, multi-time winner angle with the Women's Royal Rumble. I don't think there's anyone um, coming up from NXT or, a recent call-up that is primed for that spotlight. Um, Yeah, well, on the women's side, they I would like for them to start surprising us. It's like, okay, yeah, we don't have somebody uh, who you are, who you want to see win it that we're actually gonna go with. But now it's like, yeah, Mia Yim, we've been giving her the push. We think there is something there. She's starting to get a little traction. We're gonna go with Mia Yim this year for the Rumble, and we're gonna push her, you know, to that WrestleMania main event spot.
All
But
right, all right. But with Charlotte, though, obviously there's no surprise there if she wins. Now, I agree with you, Alan. I believe it's going to be Charlotte, even though you said Bianca initially, and then you said potentially Charlotte, if not Bianca. I think it's going to be Charlotte because you have that natural blonde on blonde battle with her and Tiffany Stratton. And I
mm-hmm.
think, Tiffany Stratton needs somebody to really put her over. Not that she's not already over, not taking anything away from what she's done. Um, I wasn't the biggest fan of the cash in. I didn't hate it, granted,
it,
but
it was underwhelming. It was a little underwhelming.
you felt like it was a little underwhelming. And
Yeah, and to me, it was because of the crowd, not because of the moment. The crowd just wasn't they weren't excited. During those cashes, you want like the crowd to be going crazy.
I just feel like this is the problem I had with how they booked the women's division as opposed to the men's. That never happens in the men's division. If it's not a PLE, you're not going to see a title change. Now, back in the day, we saw Monday Night Raw title changes, and that would be
Hmm.
the WWE title. It would be the World Heavyweight title. Like
Yeah.
we saw the big belts change possession
Hmm.
on a bunch of Monday nights, and even some dark shows that were title changes.
Hmm.
Nowadays, if it's not a big four PLE, you're not seeing a champion like Gunther lose the title. You're not seeing a champion like Cody lose the title, or
Nope.
Roman back when he had it. Brock, whoever is in that top spot, they're going to reserve that for the PLE. I think Tiffany deserved a cash in, maybe like at the Rumble. That would have been great. What if somebody wins the Rumble and then the champion comes out to confront them, and she comes in from behind. That type of deal I would have liked to see. Kind
Hmm.
of. And my favorite cash in of all time was that Seth Rollins cash in. I think it might have been WrestleMania
Yeah.
31. Uh,
31.
it was 31. Yeah.
Yeah. 31.
So it was big dog Roman Reigns. Before Bloodline,
Right.
and
Brock
The
and
Beast Brock Lesnar back when Paul
mhm.
was his advocate,
Yep.
and they were having a great match. And Seth Rollins just picked his opportunity, came
Put up the
in.
heist.
Heist of the century,
Hmm.
great call by Michael Cole, one of the best calls that I can remember in my lifetime. And that's how you pull off a surprising title change.
Hmm.
The big moments, they're not always going to be WrestleMania. You get one day a year to do it at WrestleMania, but
Hmm.
you do have Survivor Series, you do have Money in the Bank, you do have Hell in a Cell, you have Royal Rumble, obviously, you have
Elimination Chamber.
Elimination Chamber. Like, you're putting on 12 PLEs a year, pretty much, right?
Hmm.
I just felt like Tiffany Stratton deserved that. But, shout out to Tiffany Stratton. She's doing an amazing job. I just feel like it's a natural fit to put her in there with Charlotte.
Yeah.
It's hard for me to see Bianca winning it. I feel like they've relegated her to, I'm not going to say second class citizen, but she's really in the position of putting other women over. I feel like, not that she's losing a whole lot, not that they're making her look like a jobber, but
She's given the rep.
yeah, she's giving people. She's not really getting the opportunities that we. And
Yeah.
granted, Bianca had a maybe what 2 3 year run where it seemed like she either had the belt or was always in the mix for the belt.
Hmm.
And she won the Rumble, I think, in 2021. And
2021. I had when she wanted yeah, that was the pandemic one. Yeah, 2021.
yeah, she won the Rumble in 2021. She did an amazing job with that. But the thing about it is, ever since they teamed her with Jade, I feel like that was kind of Jade was green. We need to put her
Hmm.
with somebody that
Yep.
knows the business, that knows how to move like a superstar, that knows how to
Hmm.
get the pop, that knows how to train.
Yeah.
Jade has everything, total package. When you talk about body, good looking woman,
Just have a skill
um,
set.
yeah, and I feel like she gets so much hate. And nobody talked about Beth Phoenix this way. Beth wasn't
Right.
pulling. She wasn't pulling off 450 splashes.
No.
She wasn't doing swantons. She was
No.
hitting people with basic power bombs and body slams and stuff like that. And we know why she gets the hate that she gets.
Oh yeah.
She's a black
It's
woman.
yeah. Same thing with Sasha Banks.
Yeah, Sasha Banks, great performer.
Yeah.
And she's somebody that did what she had to do, or did what she felt she had to do to get the money that
Mhm.
she felt she deserved. I'm not mad at that, you
Nope.
know. And the way that they welcome Naomi back, if Sasha does make a return to WWE, I want her to receive that same level of treatment
I
because
believe she would. I believe she would get the same treatment. It's wrestling fans. It's wrestling fans, and they want to see their favorite wrestlers on their favorite shows. So as long as they're with the competition, they're not gonna see how they really feel.
yeah, so like these AEW marks they call them, and
The sickos.
yeah, and if you WWE, then you don't really know wrestling. You just like,
You're an eat your own.
yeah, you just a sheep, pretty much,
Yeah.
part of the flock.
Yeah.
And my thing is, I like all forms of wrestling, whether it's indie, whether it's the big time WWE. Like they're all necessary. They're all part of what makes wrestling great.
Hmm.
And I just hate how the fans go back and forth over you shouldn't like this promotion or this promotion is trash and that one's better. Like, all right, have your opinions. I'm cool with that, but
Right.
you don't have to put somebody down just because they don't believe what you believe. But let's move on. All right, so I actually have a list of well, actually Forbes put this together. So they have a list of the superstars. So we're going to transition to that.
Hmm.
We're going to kind of look it over and see how we feel about it. All right, so here we are. So you see it, right, Ellen?
Yep.
All right, cool. All right, so I see Penta right there. You know, that was a great signing by WWE. Exactly.
Real great. Real great.
Mhm.
Maybe one day we can get into the Ray Fenix situation.
Yeah, definitely. So my thing is, there are, I believe, 25 confirmed participants right now in the Rumble.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
Well, male entrants. Let's
Yeah.
specify that. So there are 25 confirmed males in the Rumble. All right. LA Knight, he was the first, January 3rd. We're not going to
Hmm.
name all the dates for everybody.
Yeah.
John Cena, and you can see this list, right, Ellen?
Yep.
All right. CM Punk,
Hmm.
main event Jey Uso, original tribal chief Roman Reigns,
Be the ones.
Seth freaking Rollins, Drew McIntyre, Scottish Warrior, Mr. 619, Rey Mysterio, Sami Zayn, Shinsuke Nakamura,
Nakamura-san
Logan Paul, who just announced on Monday Night Raw,
this past week.
Penta again, announced on Monday Night Raw this week, Chad Gable, same thing, Braun Breaker as well on Monday, and we have Carmelo Hayes. All right,
Carmelo Hayes.
so those are the 25. So we only have five more participants at this point
Hmm.
that have not been announced. So are we going to hit? This is my first thing, Alan. Let's ask two questions. All right.
Hmm.
We're going to go with the pick that you would make if your life was on the line. Who would that be out of these 25? And I think I know what you're going to say.
You know, guess. Tell me what I'm gonna say.
I think you're going to say the OTC.
Nah, it's too predictable.
What?
Sami Zayn.
No way.
Sami
Or
Zayn. Yeah.
Sami
I,
Zayn.
I think Triple H loves Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens, and I think somehow they are gonna wrestle for the WWE Championship at Mania.
Hmm.
That's my foil hat theory. I think he's gonna get them in the main event. So he loves those guys. He
Sami
loves
Zayn,
his.
you know what? He might get booed out the building if Sami Zayn wins the Rumble, Allen.
You think so? Sami
If
Zayn
you're
still
going,
get. He's still getting good pops.
Allen, if they're going to go babyface,
Mm-hmm.
they're going with Jey Uso.
Jey Uso.
If
Yeah,
they're
I
going
mean,
babyface, unless you go Cena, but I just feel like Cena. That
he doesn't need it. He
most
doesn't
people
need
think.
it.
Well, most people think that Cena's going to get one more shot to be 17-time world champion, and I can see that happening. I just can't see it happening at WrestleMania. And the only way that's going to happen
Right.
is if he wins the Rumble. So I'm eliminating Cena
To me,
right
yeah,
now. Like,
to me, that's a waste. That's a waste. It's a waste of a Rumble. So it's honestly a waste of WrestleMania main event. CD can't even go like that anymore. So,
yeah, and I think
but it does sell tickets. So they want to make money. It does sell tickets.
it sells tickets, but I feel like it hurts. the guys on your roster, the full time guys, because
It does.
they're there, what, 200, 250 days a year.
Hmm.
Cena's going on a farewell tour, kind of like Dwayne Wade did his final year
Right.
with the Heat. Like, bro, we know you still got a little game left in you, but you're not in your prime no more. You can't
Right.
win an event like this right now.
Plus, plus Triple H is a flair guy. He's a flair guy. I don't think he's gonna have any. He's not gonna book anybody to break Flair's record.
So it's just going to be a tie moving forward
Pretty
forever.
much.
Then, now, and forever.
The only person, the only person I can see him getting more than Flair is Randy, because Randy's a Triple H guy.
Okay. Now, we already picked who we thought we would win if we had. Well, actually, you picked. I didn't pick who I thought. I picked who I would like to see win, which is Jay Uso.
I would like to see Jey Uso win too.
Who I believe is going to win is Roman Reigns. I can't see Roman losing this match unless something crazy happens. Like, it's going to have to be the entire bloodline just jumping him, you know,
Nope.
or Brock Lesnar coming out of nowhere and hitting him with an F5. It's going to have to be like he can't cleanly get thrown out of this match.
No, he won't. I don't believe he will.
It's no way he cleanly gets eliminated just because you really spent 5 years building somebody that never really loses cleanly. I believe the only time he really lost clean was when he lost to Cody last year at Mania. Other than that,
Yeah, I
maybe you could
guess.
say the tag team match against the Usos, the Bloodline Civil War
Yeah, that's
with
real. The
him and
last
Solo.
clean loss. That's the last clean loss for me.
So you don't think the Cody loss? You're right. It was a lot of
Yeah, there was
interference.
a lot of interference.
Undertaker,
That was an Avengers thing.
yeah, Undertaker
Taker,
interfered.
yeah, Kevin Owens, Sami
Kevin
Zayn,
Owens.
yeah, Jimmy Uso.
You're
They
right.
all came out.
It was crazy. And you're right, Alan. I forgot that there was so many interferences in that match.
Right.
So you're right. Maybe the only clean loss in the last 5 years
Was
was the
who was
Bloodline
it?
Civil War.
Yeah, Night of Champions.
Yeah, so it was Roman Reigns, Solo Sikoa against Jimmy and Jay Uso. Jimmy and Jay
Yeah.
Uso had split from the Bloodline. Solo and Roman were holding it down, and it was pretty much let's see who's better. And the Usos came on top that night. Came out on
Right.
top.
Right.
Pause. You know what I mean? All right. So haven't seen Roman lose, but maybe one clean time in 5 years. So I can't really see him losing unless something happens where, there's a big swerve. And
CM Punk in the favor.
so is CM Punk's favor is it for Paul to screw over Roman?
I don't think for Paul to score over Roman, you can go one of two ways with it. Before the match, he goes, "What entry do you have?" And he's like, he shows it to her, he's like, "Oh, okay. Well, I have this one. I want to switch. I'm calling in my favor." So now Roman comes out number one. He's got to go the distance, and Punk gets number 30 or like 27, something like that. And he doesn't have to go the distance. Or
Mm-hmm.
you got, some point in the match, they have a little face to face. CM Punk goes, "All right, I'm calling in my favor. I need you to go over the rope.
Mm.
I need you to go over the rope." I don't think that's how. I don't think they would end it that way. That'd be a really deflating way to end the Rumble. But it'll be like, I think it'll be a cool like final, final six, final eight people in the Rumble. You know, and they're like clearing house, and they're back up. You know how they do that in typical dramatic fashion. They like walk back to back. They bump into each other, and Punk's like, it's you. Okay, uh, it's time. I'm calling in that favor.
Mm-hmm.
Time for you to go over the rope.
You know what? I could see a swerve like that happening, but something is telling me that Roman wins. But you're right, Alan. Now that I think about it, Roman doesn't have to win the Rumble to
He
get the
doesn't.
main event match at Mania, especially if they throw him in there with Rock.
Not to mention, I think it's just too soon to put him back in the championship picture. He doesn't need it. He
He
doesn't need it.
so he doesn't really need the belt. You feel like
No,
okay,
he doesn't need it. And you know the whole Cody era thing, like the whole WrestleMania 41 or 40 was supposed to be, you know, the ushering of a new era. It's the post Vince era. You know, it's Triple H's era. He's got his guy. It's Cody. So you know, it's like, do we go back to this thing that we were doing for 4 years so soon? No, it's just still. I think it'll still be a cool little thing to have. You know, for fans of nostalgia, people who you know really are into the bloodline. You keep little bloodline pockets here and there. Um, you know, maybe on the 5th year anniversary, kind of like they did with Shield, you bring that back for you know a big 5-on-5 match. But um, I think for the most part, most people are ready to move on from the bloodline slash. I don't want to say Roman Reigns era because Roman Reigns is still white hot, but he doesn't need the championship. Doesn't need the championship right now. Um, let's just build new stars.
okay. So you believe they'll build somebody new rather than give Roman a belt, pretty
I
much.
do. I do. I think, like I said earlier, I think he faces Rock somehow, some way at Mania this year. I think they get that match that people have been clamoring for years. Um, I never thought it needed a championship. I never thought it needed a belt. The names sell the match, but maybe this time it's on night two. I mean night one.
Okay, so night one, maybe that's the main event. You know, we don't want to give up too much of what we feel like is going to happen at Mania because you know we're still in January, barely. It's almost
Right.
February,
Right.
and you know we got plenty of time to go over Mania season. All right, Alan. So let me get this straight. Your prediction is Sami Zayn is going to go over and he's going to win the Rumble, correct? I feel like that's what
Yeah.
you said. So
Yes. Yeah.
okay, now Sammy at this point he's going against Gunther at Mania.